right. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name is Charles Nyabeze, and I'm the Vice President, Business Development and Commercialization with the Center for Excellence in Mining Innovation. And over the next 30 minutes, you'll hear from CEMI and its 3 globally relevant allies, 2 Globe, Dentons, and Keiretsu Forum. Each of these organizations is going to give you a brief overview of their services and also a brief overview of their position regarding the alliance. And after each presentation, there will be a handoff to the next speaker. And in all, we're looking at about 15 to 20 minutes for presentations, followed by a Q&A. So what is this alliance? So this alliance will bridge the internationalization, innovation, and commercialization gap that is faced by innovative companies from across Canada entering strategic global markets. CEMI is going to work with its allies in identifying investable innovations and opportunities that can assist the global mining ecosystem and all levels of mining, of the mining value chain in mitigating the risk that's associated and uncertainty that's associated in entering emerging markets. So without any further ado, I'm going to call upon our first speaker, who's Douglas Morrison, President and CEO of CEMI, to speak first. Douglas, I'm going to unmute you. Give me 1 second. There you go.
There you go. I have to unmute myself as well. Thank you very much, Charles. So this is the CEMI part of it. As you can see, we were established in Sudbury in 2007. We're here to help the mines solve their challenges. And for us, that means finding more ore, mining ore more safely and effectively, generating more value from mines, having a more benign impact on the environment and a more beneficial impact on communities. And although we're based in Sudbury, Ontario, and we work very effectively across Canada, we also know that we want our made in Canada technologies to have a global reach and stretching across into the emerging markets. Okay, Charles. This is the mining innovation niche that we have to operate in. We use the technology readiness levels to show where that is. So there are many excellent organizations that do very good research into mining issues, and we focus our attention on the commercialization of innovation. And that means the TRL scales from 4 through to 8, where 9 is actually market ready, and that's the role of the companies to do themselves. We developed this niche because we recognize the difference between research and innovation, where research creates new knowledge and innovation creates new businesses. But also, for those new businesses to be successful, they actually have to be bringing something that's a significant step change in performance to the industry. And that means aiming for an improvement in performance of double or triple the performance, or decreasing the cost by half, or perhaps even 2/3, so that we have a significant change in the performance. And we believe that the best sources for those solutions are from the SME-based commercialization players, either in the mine service and supply sector, or in other sectors that are not in mining. And so that's the other part of our focus. Okay. You can see in the bottom left, we started off as an organization focused very much on technical themes for deep mining, mining the value from mines, technology in mines, and sustainability of mines. But we very quickly recognized the paramount importance of the commercialization process and the commercialization of innovation. So that's our BizMine theme. And that has taken us to recognizing also that the companies that want to develop new technologies to improve the performance of the mining sector have to have services themselves. And so the 4 services we've developed, both for the SMEs and for the mining companies, is innovation scouting, challenge identification, challenge solution matching, and then the commercialization services for the solution providers, so that they can actually make sure that their new solutions become accepted and accessible by the mining companies to improve the performance of the mining sector. And important to us has been the effort to create this CEMI's network of SME participants across the country. This started off as mining innovation in the conventional sense, but we've also come to recognize that in actual fact, innovation happens in every sector of the economy. And what we now try to do is to bring in innovation for mining, which means bringing in any innovation we can find in any sector of the economy where we think that can have an application to the mining sector and improve the performance of the sector. So we're looking to bring in innovations from all sectors and to provide those solutions preferentially to the mining sector, but also recognizing that they have a solid business case. That business case often has applications in other sectors of the economy. So the solutions are not just sent to the mining sector, but also to other sectors. Within Canada, these are the collaborative organizations that we work with in this hub, and we form the hub of that, pulling all those 5 different strands together. Our particular role is actually to assess the business impact of any given innovation, and we do that by looking at the impact that it has on the net present value. If the project is not going to have a significant impact on net present value, then we really do have to question why we are investing in that particular innovation. And we do that with a systems approach using the theory of constraints to guide our developments. And that has taken us to the place where, number one, we focus on increasing the safety and productivity of existing mines and enhance and accelerate the development of new critical mineral mines. Secondly, we reduce the energy consumption and the greenhouse gas emissions from the mining sector. Third is to have zero impact tailings and wastewater. It's not to eliminate tailings or wastewater, but to have zero impact on the environment or on communities. And then finally, to use smart digital autonomous systems so that they can make all those 3 other things happen. And we're doing all of this in order that we can help drive the green transition globally to a low carbon economy. And if we're going to do this globally, then we need to have global partners. And that's why I'm happy to hand off to our colleague, Ali Gargazoa, and let him take it from here. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. 2Globe is, as the obvious from the name, is a unique platform for investment advice, specifically internationalization of SMEs in natural sector. Next, please. We have a big challenge in Canada's mining sector to compete with the 4 main competitors: Australia, US, and South Africa. And recently, we can add Russia and China together in this market. Based on the statistics in the whole ecosystem, we can easily find Canada is good in research up to MVP, minimum viable product. And in terms of the numbers, we are good at this stage, but suddenly falling down in scaling up. We have 2 problem and challenge in, seeking fund and having enough connection and network in the emerging market and high risk market. The logic of 2Globe is connecting the dots between mining innovator, investors, and global ecosystem in emerging market. So we connect these 3 pillars in form of the CEMI, Keiretsu, which is one of the biggest and also well-distributed angel investors across the globe, and also Dentons is the well-known law firm in natural resource with the well-distributed lawyers and offices across the world, South America, Central Asia, part of Africa, and also East. Next, please. So this is the target market of 2Globe lines between these 3. So we are ready for go to the market and go global. As you can see in the map, the countries targeted is not easy one. Very uncertain and very difficult jurisdiction, very diversified, and they have different dialogue. I personally work in more than 35 countries in case of the natural resource negotiation deals. I had experience in Bolivia about lithium, in Venezuela, and gold, Colombia, Guyana, Central Africa, and a part of Middle East, which is my home over there, back home, I mean, and also Russia, China, India. So we have well-established contact over there, and we can translate and transform the cultural barrier to the business one and legal one with the help of the our partner. The next would be Keiretsu. Keiretsu and Dentons are both well known enough, no need to say anything. So I switched to the Ozan for introducing a very short form Keiretsu.
Ali, thank you very much for the kind introduction and the insight. Doug, thank you very much, and Charles, thank you. Everybody, thank you for having me here. I just have a very quick 3 slides. It's really kind of an introduction to the Keiretsu network, to those who don't know. We are the world's largest angel network. I think it's an early stage investors network because we generally do not invest in idea stage. As you can see from these chapters, we're scattered all around the world. Our primary investments are North America, but our mandate here in Canada, at least, is to be able to identify the right Canadian companies and push them with the help of all of our investors, accredited investors throughout the globe. Next, please. So industry, we are very industry agnostic, which basically means we are a very opportunistic group of investors. As you can see, we've got 32% life sciences, fintech, consumers. We've got technology and clean tech here, manufacturing. Honestly, many of these sectors can be sliced and diced into subsectors, whether that be technology and mining, or clean tech in mining, or natural resources in general. So this is like I said, once again, it's a very opportunistic group of investors. Last year in 2020, our group invested about $109 million into about a little over 300 companies. Generally speaking, we're around the $100 to $115 million mark every single year. We are slowly but surely increasing that. Pandemic has actually been pretty interesting. Our numbers are up, especially here in Toronto. Out of the 109 million that you see over here, the Toronto chapter is in about $13.5 million last year. So we have developed some global best practices here in Canada, where now the entire world of early stage investing actually uses in terms of due diligence, etc. We're very proud of that, and like I said, our mandate is to be able to identify the right companies here in Canada and push them across the border, across all borders, really. Next slide, please. Very quick little recap. You'll notice some of the other early stage investors on this list: Y Combinator, 500 startups. We've got some of the Sequoia Capital, etc. people, some significant funds as well. And this is not just us saying, we have to show our track record to everybody. We're usually within those lists across the world. Once again, thank you so much for having me over here. And I'm very actually glad to be here because I told this to the group yesterday. When we first launched Canada, because Canada is a natural resources country, we expected that we would be the global best practice for Keiretsu Forum on natural resources. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. We really didn't know why that didn't happen. And what we're really hoping for with this framework is to bring together all of the partners that actually can make it happen, can identify the right companies, and can put the Canadian technology on the global map. So, my friends at Dentons.
Thank you, Ozan. Hello, everybody, and thanks everyone for joining today, and thanks to our fellow partners, CEMI, Keiretsu, and Two Globe. So just a quick few words on myself. I'm a lawyer and partner at Dentons in corporate law. I work a lot in a lot of different fields, especially with a lot of startups and tech companies and emerging companies as well. I work a lot on M&As and corporate finance and financing of companies, mainly to equity and other means, as well as international transactions where parties are from different parts of the globe. So you have investors in one jurisdictions, operators in another, and that's basically the core of my practice. There's a lot of international involved, and I think what's also typical of Dentons, as you know, we're if we can have a quick look at the next slide, Charles. So we are the biggest law firm in the world by number of lawyers. You're looking at 12,000 lawyers around the world, and 80 up around 80 countries, spread around 80 countries, as far as East Asia, as China, a huge presence in China, a huge presence and even growing presence in Africa, and pretty much all the emerging markets that are especially relevant to the mining sector. So I work a lot with my colleagues across the globe on international transactions and on helping clients either come from abroad to Canada or go from Canada to various jurisdictions. So when Ali from Two Globe presented this idea to me of a potential collaboration on with companies in the tech sector and mining, and with a mining background, and with technologies that can be used in the mining sector, I said, well, you know, we would be definitely a great match, because we work a lot with tech companies and their financing and in their partnerships across the world, and also in emerging markets. So I can tell you that as Ozan just said, there are lots of opportunities and around the world, and the only thing that is missing, I think, for getting those deals that Ozan was talking about and those types of collaborations in the mining sector and others, is really to have the people to connect the dots, right? So it's people like Ali, like Doug, and like Ozan and others, Charles himself. So we have a huge network. Myself, I lived on 4 continents and studied and worked in China and in the Middle East, and I work a lot with Africa as well. So, and I've been there as well. So there's a lot of, you know, a huge network of contacts that we have, that we can help companies connect the dots, as much on the financing and the deal structuring, but also on the government relations. I always say that we're not a law firm only. We provide strategic advice. We have people like in our team at Dentons here in Canada only, alone, we have the former Prime Minister Jean Chrétien, the very Right Honorable John Chrétien, the Right Honorable Stephen Harper works a lot with us. I work closely with our former Premier of Quebec, Philippe Couillard. These are people who can help facilitate things. They can help in your strategy, and also we have the same caliber of people around the globe in our offices around in emerging markets, and government relations and strategic advice, very important for market entry in these jurisdictions that are challenging, but they present a lot of potential in terms of growth. So that's where we come in, along with our great partners here, and we're looking forward to working with everyone here. And I said to Ali also, as part of our collaboration with Two Globe, we and our partners, I said, if once you have vetted candidates or who are looking to internationalize, we are ready to offer at least 30 to 45 minutes of my own time for free to have a meeting on Zoom or Skype or whatever, so we can discuss how we can help you and the avenues that we can take together. So that's pretty much it. I pass it on to Charles at CEMI. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. I am here. So thank you so much for the presentations. Before we move into the question and answer period, I wanted just to give you some idea on what to expect next. What we are going to do is everybody who's registered to this conference call is going to receive a copy of the recording. So you get a link so you can click and we'll rewatch it. And also we're going to be sending you a link so that you can provide us an expression of interest. So you'll be able to go to a form where you can put in some very high level details so that we can have a mechanism to get back to you and speak to you. And also shortly, actually in a couple of minutes from now, we're going to be sending out our official news release of this announcement, and that's going to go out into the different media channels. Also, if you'd like to contact us directly, my email address is on the screen. Feel free to send me an email so that we can have a conversation. I'm now going to move over to the question and answers. And there was a question inside the chat box that I'm going to read first. And I think this question may be, I think it may be a question for Ali. But the question is, what is the mechanism that you have in place to promote new solution in the sector? Maybe Douglas can take that one as well. Ali, I'm going to unmute you if you're about to speak.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think two questions refers to me. One of them about the Brazil and Russia. I just want to say we are open to make a list more complete, but based on the first strategy and mining cycle and the rate of the uncertainty and the potential, we choose some countries. So we are quite open to add or remove or edit the country list. The second is about what is the criteria for having the technology. We have two global jobs combining in a disruptive way the due diligence process of Keiretsu and SMEs, plus the potential of the network of Dentons to find the right company for the right country. This is the whole disruptive, innovative way for innovation in compared to the very solid way of EDC or BDC or foreign offer or other chambers players that they have a very solid criteria. If you sell more than 1 million or if you have 10 people as an employee, this and that. The old-fashioned criteria, although is good and tested, but is not good for innovative and not fully commercialized company. They need help, so we will categorize the companies who are reached out to us in group of 5 to 7 company with the common target market. 5 company for one target market in different value chain of the mining, from exploration, mining, extraction, or mineral processing at the end of the value chain. So this is something different from regular services for internationalization. We will be on board with you guys in the specific target market. So this is why we choose maximum 7 company for each country for a start and positioning them in their target market.
Thank you very much for that answer, Ali. We do have a question here from Brian Bass, and I will read it out. The question is, how do you intend to leverage the movement of the mining sector to leverage the green angle? For example, mining is needed to modernize the global economy away from fossil fuels.
Yeah, maybe I can take that one, Charles.
Okay.
Basically, in addition to the work that we do ourselves, CEMI's already established several relationships with mining innovation groups in other countries like Australia, in Brazil, in Peru, in Mexico, and that list of relationships is expanding all the time. That's where we get most of the information we need about the pressing needs in each one of those particular areas. In Canada, we have a relatively temperate zone climate, whereas in many of these other countries, it's a very arid terrain, and the kinds of solutions that they're looking for are different from the solutions that we would look for in Canada. And so with the information that we have from that part of the network, feeding into all the host of innovative ESG related, environmentally related, water related technologies that the people are developing, that's how we pull the whole thing together. In fact, the majority of the innovators in our current network are probably focused on the environmental side of things, on the ESG issues, environment and water. And so that's where the drive comes from. There's a multiplicity of solutions out there. It's a question of matching the right technical solution to the right environment, technically climate, and also connecting it to the right business and legal framework so that we have successes. If we don't pull all of those threads together, then we end up with what we've had up until now, which is a lot of very, very good ideas that sit on the shelf and really never become implemented. And the purpose of this alliance is actually to help that whole process become more streamlined and faster.
Excellent.
Doug, may I add to Doug, may I just add to what you just said? Is one of the things that we do is syndication of deals. So, for example, in Toronto, up to 40% of the deals that we see here are not non-Canadian, which means that they're circulating around our global network. And as you circulate around the global network, these are for companies that are starting to scale up. You see, you meet a lot of different people, a lot of different investors, and everybody has a different agenda here when they put their money in, when they allocate capital, and they come from all sorts of different sectors. Whether that be natural resources or life sciences. Maybe there's a cross link right there. Maybe there's a cross link somewhere else. So we do actually kind of naturally, as we syndicate deals, attach different investors or interests on companies. And this is what we will intend to do as well. And syndication doesn't happen by itself. There's a lot of work and resources that goes into it. And it's only good for companies that actually are at that capacity to syndicate. You can't syndicate an idea, but those companies that are in that position to scale up, we can scale out as well.
Excellent. Thank you. And there was another question here on just the process to, to accept the expressions of interest. And I guess the answer to that is we will be sending a link to the form where you can fill out your details and submit them. And once we receive the information, we'll obviously walk through with 2Globe before we present it to Keiretsu and to Dentons for their their input. But definitely there will be a review process with 2Globe initially to vet out the application before we move it forward. Okay. Maybe Ali, if you could just maybe speak to the length of process time, maybe the amount of time it takes to maybe evaluate an expression of interest. Could you maybe give the audience an indication on how long that time frame could look?
Sure. For the next 12 months, we have 3 phases. First, we have for 3 months just receiving the LOI, and the very simple application have to be fill up about the business summary, the financial projection if they have, and the most important part of the application in comparison with the other incubator, accelerator, or something like that is the reason and the reason for choosing the target market and the name of target country that they want. So based on the value chain of mining and categorizing the target market to South America, Central and French Africa, MENA region, and East of Asia, we will categorize in different groups all companies that have LOI, and after that, look for the investability and the other detailed criteria of Keiretsu for entering them to the roadshow and networks of Dentons. So the whole process, we in the next 12 months, in addition to from next week, we will post every week about one innovation and fashionable trend in mining. In addition to that, it is just informative one. After receiving the LOI by the CEMI or directly by 2Globe, we will categorize them and finalize different group of companies for significant common target countries.
Excellent. Okay, thank you for that. Folks, seeing that we are reaching the end of our time here, I'd like to just take this opportunity to thank everybody for coming on the line. And Douglas, do you want to say any closing remarks?
No, well, I'm happy to do that, Charles. I thought you were going to do the closeout, but thank you for everybody who's coming. Thank you for giving me the surprise at the end, Charles.
Not a problem.
So, thank you for all the audience, and thank you to our 3 new partners who we hope are going to make a huge difference in distributing Made in Canada solutions to the emerging markets around the world. So thank you all for coming, and thank you to our partners. We're looking forward to a very bright future. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay.
Cheers, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.